just different.
Yeah, you already know what it is. Pure money, baby. I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Come and hang with the gang. Get some free game added to your mainframe. Gotta keep your mind sharp, you gotta maintain. And it's even better when the squad on the same thing. Steady swishing on the competition. Swish. We ain't tripping about the opposition. We on a mission and we got a vision. People in need, we believe we got it like I give a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. Said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money. Been slept on, money never stepped on. We increasing positivity until the stress gone. Satan tried to hold the squad back, but we kept on. We ain't making this up, no Revlon. I ain't trying to make you blush, but this a highlight. We send the high vibes, homie, this a high life. We rising far above the game, that's a flyby. But we still connected to the source, that's that Wi-Fi. Reception, now we answer the call. This squad taking questions and we answer them all. We don't wanna see you fall, we wanna see you ball. We all gon' eat with the peeps, we gon' feed them all. Couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. I said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure.
What's happening, everybody? We back in the building. I appreciate y'all. Been gone for a little second. We had CDC going on. I had to fly out of town to speak in Alabama. But I am back here to our regular schedule, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time zone, Tuesday through Thursday. Shout outs to Courtney for holding us down on those Monday calls. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. Share this out with 3 other entrepreneurs and business owners so they can stay updated with what we got going on. But today, guys, we're going to be hitting some pretty important topics here. Well, I don't want to say topics, mistakes that entrepreneurs often make. I'm going to go over 7 of them, and a lot of them are going to be tied kind of around that financial piece of it. So make sure that you guys tune in because these are going to be mistakes that you want to avoid. Yes, you want to avoid these mistakes so you can start to experience success. Now, I know people are going to be at different levels in their business. That's quite okay. But if you understand that you want to avoid these mistakes, you will be good to go here. And I see I done messed my screen up. I got stuff all over the place, but we're going to get this thing rolling here. It's been a while. I got to get my whole show back together. Don't forget, guys, put in the comments, I am a millionaire, because you got to believe it. If you don't believe that you could do anything that I talk about today, well, guess what? It won't happen. You have to believe it. And most importantly, you got to take the action steps that I'm saying. And last but not least, okay, last but not least, I need you guys again. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, that subscribe button, share this out with 3 other entrepreneurs so they can get on. But as I want to go a little faster here today, so I don't want to keep wasting your time. I'm sorry, these things are bothering me. I gotta fix my screen over here. I don't know how I got adjusted. All right, we fixed that right there. All right, but anyways, let's get ready to dive into this thing. Some of the mistakes that you guys are gonna make. One of the first ones that I'm gonna put up here, and I kind of try to put them in order because it's important that, to me, that you kind of flow in this type of order, because I'm not a believer of what everybody talks about, just FYI. I believe that the very first thing that you should focus on, okay, before you ever waste money into getting a business name and filing down with the IRS and all of this other stuff, the very first thing you should focus on is making a sale. Like, find something to sell, whether it's going to be your time that you're selling because you're going to be utilizing yourself to provide a service to somebody, or you're selling a product. But if you can't figure out how to sell anything, then, I mean, why are you even starting this business? Because it's not easy. I'm telling you, sales is not easy. So if you're not willing to go down the lane to convince someone else to purchase from you, well, this whole business thing isn't going to work. And I'm going to save you tons of money right now because I'm telling you, just don't get involved in it. So the very first thing is you should just learn how to sell. That's the first mistake that I didn't even put up there. Everybody just invests money into all of this stuff and you ain't learned how to sell nothing yet. That's the number one mistake. But let's dive into what I got right here as number one. The first thing here, and also, guys, I guess I could move this over here for my Instagram folks. All right, Instagram folks, I'll slide this over a little bit further so y'all can see it. But if you are on Instagram and you want to see the full view, you could just click the link in my bio and you can see the whole thing on YouTube. But the very first pitfall that you guys make is not separating your business and personal finances. Somebody type bank in the chat. I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm telling you here. I need you to put bank in the chat if you heard what I tell you right here, what I'm telling you right here, to separate your business and personal finances. Now, here's the kicker. Why are we worried about separating those? Well, if you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, you never know what you got. You have to be willing to see. And when it comes to numbers, guys, just don't lie to yourself. So what you should do to make sure we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul, I personally like to have my personal money in one one bank system. So maybe like a Chase, and then I'll have my business bank account in a completely separate one. Now, I know some people that do it all in the same institution is what I meant to say. I know some people that do it all in the same institution, but they have separate accounts. Me personally, I like to have separate institutions so I know I won't commingle funds. There's no mistake that I could possibly make to commingle the funds because the institution's not the same. There's different checks, there's different colors, as well as it didn't become easy for me to transfer the money back and forth, which again gets to commingling. In order for money to come from one account to another, I got to do a wire or write a check, which this is why I'm telling you we want to separate our finances. Because the day that you get started, okay, of course, we're going to be selling some stuff to make sure that we can confirm that we want to do this. So I'm going to imagine that everybody already knows how to sell something and they're ready to take off and, get to 6 and 7 figures. So the first thing that I'm going to do is write a check from my personal bank account to this new business bank account that I'm about to go open up. Now, I would recommend that you open your business account with a local SBA account. Right? I'm going to say this again. I would recommend that you open your business account with a local SBA friendly institution. I got to make sure I say my words correctly here. People online be going crazy and trying to check somebody and whatnot. I really truly care. I may say the wrong words, but if you just listen to what I'm telling you, we can do good business and make a lot of money because I don't talk about what I've seen from anybody. I'm telling you what I'm actually doing. So what you should do is have that separate business account with the SBA friendly bank. It's probably going to be a local bank. Hopefully it is a local bank. Like here in the DMV area, my business bank account is with M&T Bank. It's more local and it's friendly with the SBA. And the reason we're doing this is because, we want to build that relationship up, and you're probably going to get better deals when it comes to money with that local SBA friendly bank. Not just that, we talk about government over here all the time. So the SBA, we're going to need to be a part of them as we grow. You may need to get into a building, or you may get a government contract that you need financing, you need loans or something to cover it. Well, if you are already tapped in with that institution and you're going to get the money from the SBA, chances are they're going to run it through that institution. And everything just becomes so much more easier. So that's my recommendation for your business account. I believe you could just go to Google. Matter of fact, let me put it in Google right now. I'm just going to see if it works like this. Haven't done it in a while. You could go to Google and say, my local SBA friendly bank. Yep. And they'll start to pop up, and you could check it out right there. Mine came up Washington metropolitan area because that's where I'm at. And of course it popped up right there. I guess I could share my screen here so you guys could take a look at what I'm looking at. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. My bad. I need to change this. Maybe it's this screen. Nope, it's not that screen. All right, maybe it's this one. All right, so you guys can see here that, guess I need to move this over. There we go. That I just put this in right here, and it gave me you could look at the U.S. Small Business Administration lenders. Chances are if I click here, it'll give me a list of banks. And I don't want to keep going through all this. We don't want to be lenders. So I've seen something else right here. See, it gave me my Washington metropolitan. I don't know if this is going to take me directly to all the DC banks. Also, at the end of the day, the SBA will have local business meetings somewhere around there. And trust me, there will be a banker that hops on there. This is why you need to know your local SBA, right? They will have a banker, or your local SBA representative will have contacts to a banker in your local area. That's why I can't stress enough. Locally. I'm not talking about Wells Fargo or Bank of America, any of those big ones. I want you to have a local bank account. So that's the number one. Well, I say number one is sales. But for our number one today, of the biggest issue that you guys will be facing is, again, that you need to separate those personal finances. Now, I said that $10,000. You're going to have a $10,000 loan from you to your business. And we're going to make sure we write a check so we can have a track record on paper of everything that's going on. We loaned the business $10,000. What does that mean? The business owes you $10,000. Now, I'm telling you guys that because I am projecting you guys to make a whole lot of money, and then we could talk about the charge that you're charging your business for that loan over time. It's just tricks with this stuff that you guys can do. So again, make sure you write that check so we can keep it separate. And at any time you need to give your business more money, you need to write a check to the business. And if you can keep $10,000 or a little bit more, you definitely want to keep payroll in your account. But $10,000 to the bank makes them open their eyes a little bit, right? So we want to try to do these increments of 10,000 because they're taking your money and loaning it out. And remember, we're trying to build relationships up. So $500 in a bank account ain't going to quite build the relationship up. But if that's where you need to start, okay, by all means, start where you can. But we do want to try to deposit some money inside of that bank to wake them up a little bit there. All right. I appreciate the bank comments in here. Let me see. We got a question. By all means, if you guys have got questions about anything that I'm going over, you can ask those and I will get to them here for you. All right. Does that go for credit cards as well? We're actually going to get to credit cards here in a minute, so I don't want to dive deeper into credit cards at this moment right now. I will get to credit cards though, so don't worry about that. Oh man, I think I closed my Instagram live feed. That sucks. That'll be okay. Oops. Got that on. All right, anyways, let's keep this ball rolling. Number 2. What do we got here? Your number 2 pitfall is understanding expenses. Guys, this is going to be huge for you. I really want you to get in the habit of this whole budgeting thing because, this is going to explain everything to you. If you don't know your expenses, then we're not going to know what to do next. So maybe you need to write everything out, right? If you need to write it all out on a piece of paper to see it, you need to write it out. But you got to cover everything in your expenses. And when I'm talking about everything, it's a couple things that people forget. You need to make sure you have in your expenses money for marketing. So what is marketing? Well, you may need a website, right? You may need to run ads because you got to keep people seeing your stuff. You may need to have vendor booths because you need to go to these places and set up so they can see what you got going on. And remember, if you're traveling somewhere, there's gas costs to that. There's maintenance on your vehicle. If you're doing Uber and Lyfting somewhere, there's a cost and fee to that. If you're traveling and getting on planes, there's a fee to get to the airport. There's a fee for the food that you have to eat the entire time that you're gone until you get back home, right? These are all costs. And the reason why you want to know all of this stuff is because you got to know how much to charge. So we're not going in a hole. And I constantly see our minority owned businesses don't know their expenses. And it's just crushing you guys. Like, you take on gigs that is losing you money because you had to travel 2 hours and like you lost time and money traveling 2 hours there and 2 hours back. You lost time and money jumping on a plane and then the flight gets delayed and you forgot to factor in what happens when a flight gets delayed and you can't get back home to cover the next day. Like, these are all expenses that you got to know. You have to know these. There's insurance. I want you guys to type in the chat. What do you guys think some expenses to businesses are? You should have insurance. I'll give you guys an example to this. I know a lot of people who have people come and work in their houses, right? And they come work on their house, and maybe you looked in the app and you seen like the plumber was going to, the first plumber that came to your house, he said, I can do this for $3,500. And then 2 other plumbers come to your house and they say, well, we could do this for $500. And you're like, well, the guy for $3,500 is trying to cheat me. Well, it's kind of not true. See, the $3,500 plumber is actually in his craft, and I'm just throwing numbers out there. It may not be this high, right? But he's actually in his craft, and he has this thing called insurance. And the insurance for that business costs quite a bit of money. So he knows his expenses, and he understands if I do that job, I need to cover myself. This is going to be the cost. And you saying, well, no, it's trying to cheat me. Well, the $500 person, the reason they didn't charge you that much is because they don't have insurance. And you may be saying, well, hey, you know what? I would rather go with the person that doesn't have insurance or the licensing that's needed because it's only $500. Well, you're supposed to be a millionaire. You got to think about things like this now. Because if that person comes in your house and they get hurt in your house, fixing your house that you was paying them $500 for because they agreed to do this, well, they don't have something called workers' compensation because they don't have the proper insurance or licensing. And since they don't have worker compensation, when they go to the doctor and the doctor says, did you get hurt on the job? They say, yes, well, I did get hurt on the job. Well, now workers' compensation comes in and goes, well, what job? Well, I was working on that person's house right there. Well, you got insurance. That person's insurance isn't going to cover their bill because, again, they don't have insurance. Well, we're in America where you can sue. Well, now that person's going to come sue you because you are a millionaire with the proper insurance that technically covers the people that come and work in your house. But now you got to foot the bill for this stuff. See, it's simple things like this. So I want you to be the person with insurance, and we're not going to be charging people $500. We're going to charge people $3,500 because we are properly licensed and insured. But again, you got to know all of your expenses so we can properly put the fees to things. Some other fees that you could be thinking about is your accountant, your legal fees that could come up. Now, in the beginning, you may not have all these fees. That's okay. All right, we're getting started and fresh, and maybe you can't afford the accountant or the legal right now. Know how much they cost, right? Reach out to a lawyer. They usually all got free consultation calls. Reach out to them and tell them what they're doing and find out how much their fee is going to be so you can start to program that in, because as we're going to get money, we're going to make sure that we're putting this back in and investing in the smart people to be around us. All right, what we got? Insurance, lawyers, taxes. Oh, let me move that right here. I like what you said right here, Jason. Again, I said, what are some of the fees that you guys can think about? Insurance, lawyers, taxes, fuel, employees. I mean, again, this stuff can really, really take a business to a whole nother level of expenses, right? Like, it's very important that you know your industry and the type of expenses that your industry has, because the odds of you avoiding those expenses is going to be slim to none. It's a reason that businesses excel in that industry. So just take my cheating method. If you look into the businesses right now, you can see what their expenses are. So now you can start to prepare yourself for what's to come. It's the most simplest solution right here. All right, number 3. Don't forget, guys, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, share this out with 3 other entrepreneurs and business owners as well. Number 3. The number 3 pitfall is poor pricing strategy. I told you we're going to get the pricing into the credit cards. But the third reason that businesses fail, guys, is your pricing. It absolutely sucks. I mean, and your prices sucks because you don't know your expenses. I see someone say internet. Yes, you got to know your internet expenses, your cell phone expenses. You got to know the mortgage and the utilities, the lights, the water that you're using. You have to know your expenses so we know how to price. I constantly see my minority businesses have prices on things and they don't even know how they came up with the price. People ask me all the time, Travis, what should I charge? I don't know what you should charge. That's the kicker. I really don't know what you should charge. Now, if it's a product, this is very simple, guys. If I have a cup right here, if it costs me $3 to get the cup, I can't possibly charge anything lower than $3. If I was to charge exactly $3, well, I would probably be a fool because chances are I'm going to lose money with time, travel, whatever it took to get this cup. I'm sure there's going to be some change that I'm going to miss. So if I charge $3, I ain't making no money. If I do it the hood way and say, well, I seen this cup on sale. They were selling it for $8 in the store. I got it for $3. I can sell it for $7. And you just say, okay, well, that's $4 per cup that I'm making. Well, I make $4. I'll sell the cup for $7. That's the hood approach right there, because I didn't tell you one time, no expenses. I'm just coming up with numbers. May it be profitable? Absolutely. I just said, well, I buy it for $3 and sell it for $7. I'm okay with a $4 profit. Looks pretty good. This is where we start getting into trouble. Because now, how many of these cups do you need to sell to cover your expenses? Well, all of a sudden you like, well, Travis, I think it costs me about $3,500 a month in expenses. Well, no, it can't be a think. And I'm telling you, your expenses don't cost $3,500. Anytime I ask somebody what is their expenses and they give me like a whole number like that, $3,500 a month, I know you're lying and you don't know what your expenses are, because expenses don't come to the zero. It got change on the back end, right? That lets me know too, you don't have any system or tool that can calculate for you. You didn't make that investment right there yet. Because you can hit a profit loss statement. It can tell me right there what your expenses is with just a click of a button. I can go on my phone and open up my QuickBooks and run a report in a second and just tell you what my expenses are. But when you use that whole number, to me, that's the lazy way out. You're guessing. Some weeks it's at 2,200. Another week it's at 45. Well, we can get an average and come up with expenses, but you cannot just guess at your expenses, because now we can't put a price on it. See, if I understood my expenses, I would understand why they're selling the cup for $8 and not $7. Because $8 allows them to have a profit and $7 makes them break even. Now, here's the kicker when it comes to the service side of the house. What if we're selling services? And what if it's just yourself selling the services? Well, this is what I like to do if it's just me. The first thing is, everybody has a title. Whatever service you're going to provide, somebody already put that title out there for that job. So we can simply go on something like LinkedIn or monsterjobs.com. You can put in that job title followed by the zip code, and it'll tell you how much is the average cost of you. How much would somebody else pay for you in the job market? And I hear people all the time talking about like, yo, I'm worth $1 million. Well, has anybody ever paid you $1 million? Because this in your mind that you're worth $1 million. You've never proven to anybody that you're worth $1 million. Instead, you went to school, you got a degree with a job title and a zip code that you live in, and they're telling me what your value is. So let's start there. Let's go to Google and see what Google says your value is. They'll give you a low amount, they'll give you the median, and they'll give you the high amount. Most people are going to try to jump for the high amount. I tell you to go for it, right? Now, if it's just you though, you can't just charge the high amount. You immediately have to double the amount. And I know it's scary. Well, Travis, wait a minute, man. If I'm a tier 3 help desk technician and that's what I've been doing, and it's at $120,000, how are you going to say that I can charge $240,000? Well, see, the thing is, if I do not charge for you, you're the solo person right now. If I do not get you to charge $240,000, you're never going to be able to replace yourself in the business. The reason I want you to charge $240,000 is because the minute you get 3, 4, 5 customers that are going to pay you $240,000, well, now you can hire somebody else to be you. But if I just charged $120,000, all you did was gave yourself the highest paying job, because remember, we went on the high end. And some people are satisfied with that. That's okay. But I'm talking to the people that's looking to grow and build legacies, build wealth. Right? So we're going to double that. And you may be saying, well, Travis, how can I get somebody to double that? Remember, we don't need the whole world to purchase from you. We just need one. So what you're going to do is stop looking for, matter of fact, let me do something right now. I said 120,000. 120K is how much per hour? $57.69. Okay, so what I want you to stop doing, because I told you, you got to charge $240, right? What I want you to stop doing is stop looking for $57.69 per hour problems. And I want you to start looking for $250,000 project problems. You see, there's a difference right now. The person's mind that's stuck at $120,000 a year is only getting valued at $57.69 per hour because they constantly look for per hour projects. Where are per hour projects located? On Monster Jobs, Career Jobs, Google Jobs, Job Fairs, Job. That is the per hour opportunity that they seek. And that's why they can only get that amount of money. Your mind's got to shift right now. We are going to $240,000 projects that are problems. There's no per hour to this. When I solve the problem to that project, I need my $250,000. I don't care if it took me 1 hour or if it took me 30 days. But what is not going to take me is 365 days that I got to sit down for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I may got to do some overtime. That's not the type of projects I'm looking for. I want the project that you pay me my money based off completion. Everything changes now all of a sudden. What you will realize is you can get yourself 4 or 5 $250,000 clients like this in 1 year. And what you will realize, since you have 4 or 5 $250,000 clients, all of a sudden you get to rehire yourself 5, 6 times. Now you got a team that's doing the work, and all you are doing is going out there to hunt for the projects. But if you don't know how to do the work, you can't hire the people. That's the difference. I know how to do everything that I hire people for. Well, most things. I don't know how to do the industrial hygienist stuff. I'm capping right there. But that's why he make more money than me, because he's a specialist. All right. Again, that will help your whole pricing strategy. But if you do not realize what your expenses are, again, we will never, ever learn how to price. The other kicker to pricing that you can do is always just ask the market. How do you ask the market? Well, again, you should never, ever be doing business that nobody else has done. Your money's not long enough, and we don't have enough time on this earth. Why would you try to go down a lane that nobody has ever done before? Instead, we want to be in a lane that people have done. We just put our own sauce onto it. The reason why is because we need to cheat. I can go to the market for any product or service, and I can just start looking, acting like I'm the customer, and say, hey, I want your service. I want your product. How much are you going to charge me? I need to understand what the market is charging so I can become competitive. Now, I got a couple options when it talks about being competitive. One, I could be lower, which I will never, ever choose a day in my life. I'm not trying to look to be lower than anybody. 2, I could be of same value, or no, same price, but better value, right? So that means maybe I offer a little bit more than the other people, but my pricing is the exact same. Or 3, I can be of highest price, and my value is just through the roof. It's the luxury market. We ain't with everybody else. Those are your 3 options. But if you don't know what the market is saying, well, you may outprice yourself past luxury. You may lowball yourself so low that you scare everybody away. You may have a price that is at the right price point, but you just like everybody else. So why do I even need to select you? These are things, again, that we need to pay attention to when it talks about pricing here, guys. All right. Let me get off of that. We still got more to go. Number 4, your lack of financial planning. Somebody type plan in the chat. I need to make sure that y'all are with me. We got to type plan. Again, these are the 7 mistakes that my minority business owners make often, and this is why you can't succeed. If you focus on these, you will become successful. I promise you. And if you pay attention to the order, it'll all work out. Your lack of financial planning. Guys, you don't know how many times I've seen our small businesses make money and then they lose it so fast. I was watching this episode of David Shan's Hot Seat, and they just went in Atlanta and they all mobbed this store and purchased up the lady's stuff. But then they had her on the hot seat. And she was saying how she got all these loans. Man, it really hurts me when I start hearing you small business owners just getting loans and stuff because you heard some fool on the internet tell you take out a loan and you don't know how to make money. Them people want their money back. You can't just get a loan and just pray God go and work it out. That's not how this works. You only get loans on things that you know will generate the loan money so you can pay it back. But anyways, I digress. I'm sitting here watching and I realize she's like majority of the small business owners that I work with. You don't plan on what to do with the money. You have to have a plan for the money as it comes in. It will burn through your pocket. And if you didn't follow the steps like I told you before of having those separate bank accounts, every step that I told you, your expenses, if you didn't follow those, then again, we don't have a plan for the money. So now all of a sudden you start telling me stuff like, yeah, I make $5,000 a month and my expenses is $3,500 and you using those whole numbers again. That lets me know you ain't got no plan. You lying again. And now you're about to fail. I don't know when you're going to fail, but you're about to fail because this is a raggedy plan. Here's the thing. There's always a plan. Either you create the plan for your money or money got a plan. Trust me. Money has a plan. The plan is to come out of your pocket to a person that got a plan for it. That's what will happen. Guaranteed fact. So how do we plan this thing called money out? Well, guys, you should be living ahead. See, the goal about wealth, creating wealth, is how far can your money take you ahead in life? What do I mean by that? Well, the goal is not to wake up and go generate money every day for the rest of your life. I know a lot of the politicians talk about retirement and, you know, having Social Security and all of this stuff. But I don't know about y'all, but my goal is not to be working until I'm 67 or whatever age of retired. That sounds crazy to me. But the kicker is I know a lot of old people that retired in their 60s and they still got to work. Well, that doesn't sound right. Well, it comes back to financial planning. See, the key to retirement is how long ahead can your money make money? All you're trying to do is generate enough money that all of a sudden you could put money into these markets. You could put money into real estate. You could put money into other businesses. You could have rental properties. You could have commercial properties. But now you got the money places that's generating you money every month. How much money does it need to generate you every month? I just want to guess from you guys in the comment. How much money do you think your money needs to generate you every month? There's not a specific dollar amount. There's a word that I'm looking for here. How much money do you think your money needs to generate you every month to reach retirement? See, it's not an age. I said to reach retirement. It's just a special word. And I'm on a delay and I don't have time for them to come in. But it's expenses. If you know how much it costs you to open your eyes and live every day, there's a total cost to that every month. Your goal is to make enough money that the money can generate your expenses every month and you don't have to wake up and do it anymore. So we got to literally start to think about our 401k, IRAs, Roth IRAs, real estate that are rental properties, businesses that can generate revenue and profit. Now, all of a sudden, that money's going to work. It pays me out $15,000 a month. That's enough to cover my expenses. That is the goal. Life insurance policies in place. Well, here's the thing. When you put the plan together, every time you generate revenue and you got those quote unquote leftovers that you would probably try to eat all the money up or travel all around the world. No, you take that extra money and you start to dump it into these financial investments, these financial vehicles, so you can build your portfolio. It's called making a sacrifice. I know it's not a popular thing to do right now. You're seeing people in their 30s, even in their young 20s, flying all around the world, driving Lamborghinis. It's messing with your mind. You saying, well, why can't I do it? How come it hasn't happened to me fast enough? It's because you haven't come up with a financial plan yet. Instead, you keep watching everybody else's plan. You just got to worry about yourself for a second. See, the kicker about what I'm talking about is it don't take you 20, 30 years to create this wealth, to retire yourself. It takes you sacrifice and the focus. You could get it done in 1 year if you want to. But the goal is to put your head down and figure out, how can I generate enough revenue faster? So if you need $10,000 a month to survive, chances are you're going to need $1 million in liquid cash, right? Because now I could put that cash in investment vehicles and a 10% return on your money is obtainable, right? Having 50 and 60% returns on your money, that is ludicrous. People are trying to rob you. But to have 10% returns on your money up to 18%, and I'm not going to say that you're not going to find investment vehicles that give you an opportunity to capitalize on 40, 50, but to have it happen every day, they're trying to rob you. Anomalies happen like that every time. 10%. Cool. So we need to figure out, how do we make $1 million fast so I can have 10% working for me? And now I got $10,000 coming in every month. I can retire. That's if your lifestyle is at $10,000. Some people got a $5,000 a month lifestyle. Some people got a $25,000 a month lifestyle. You get to choose it. That's the beauty about this thing called life. All right. So that's number 4, the financial plan. Don't forget, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with 3 other entrepreneurs, business owners that you know need to find out about, how the heck do I create this financial plan that this man Travis is talking about. The only way that we're going to continue growing is by the help of each and every one of you guys. So again, I appreciate the support from you all. If you guys got any questions about anything that I'm going over tonight, feel free to put them down in the chat. I will answer those questions. Don't forget, we are live Tuesday through Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Tuesdays, we go over this mindset and business right here. On Wednesdays is government contracting. And on Thursdays, we go over the tools and systems that are going to help us grow as business owners, in particular, our in-house system, SB Money Flow. Let's get back to it. I believe we're on number 5. Yes. Taxes. Oh my goodness. Guys, your first largest expense in all business and entrepreneurship will be your lack of investing in education. That's everybody's number one expense. I know people say taxes, but I'm telling you right now, you not buying that book, you not going to that conference, you not getting that mentor. The lack of education is your number one expense. And I'm not talking about getting riled up or nothing. I mean, you get information from somebody and then you try to implement it. That's education. Like, not just reading and getting hyped up. So when I say lack of education, you get the mentor so they can get you over the problem that you have so you can keep taking action. That's education. But anyways, the second largest expense to all business owners and entrepreneurs will be taxes. And I don't know why people try to avoid taxes. Do you think that they're not going to come get these taxes? So again, we should already be thinking about this stuff, guys. We should literally be planning out every time I make a sale, I should probably put money aside to the taxes. You need to know your industry so you know if you have to pay taxes on every transaction. Some industries aren't set up like that. But what we are going to do at the end of this year is to pay these federal taxes, these state taxes, and these local taxes. Do not try to avoid them. Just understand how much it is. And again, you will stop charging people pennies because all of this stuff is expenses to you. This is part of business. In the market, when you start seeing these market prices, you'll start to get a better understanding for all of it. Why it is that fee, why it's that high. Taxes will eat you alive if you don't plan for them. You should have in that bank account that I'm telling you about. If I could show you my business bank account, inside of MTB, I got 4 different accounts. Every time I get paid, a certain amount of the money automatically goes to one of my other accounts. 30% automatically goes to a high yield savings account because I ain't giving them their tax money right now. I'm going to pay them their tax money a little bit later on. They're going to get their tax money. It just ain't going to be right now. So that money goes over into a high yield savings account. So when it comes time to pay taxes, I'm not like my man Hamza says on Stressham Street. I got the money to pay the taxes. I never touched it. I didn't commingle them funds. Tax money was already accounted for. That's something simple that all of you guys can do. But if you don't pay them taxes, man, you're setting yourself up for a world of trouble. That's what the broke people do. The broke people try to avoid tax. Well, I don't want to say the broke people try to avoid taxes because I tried to avoid paying the highest tax. I pay my tax. Okay. But these broke people that are out here just trying not to pay a tax at all, not because they're looking for the loopholes and the write-offs or whatnot, they just ain't filing. That is crazy to me. You are setting yourself up for a world of hurt. It may not come today. It may not come next year. But 5 years from now, when you got your life together and now you ready to do better things, well, guess what? That tax bill going to come back because you ain't been paying for the last 5 years, right? So just don't put yourself down that lane because there's going to be another thing called interest that's going to eat you alive off them taxes, and you're never going to recover. It's almost impossible. So again, don't put yourself down that lane. Number 6. All right, Lou, now we're here. Oops, was that the right one? Yeah, it was. Number 6, ignoring business credit. Guys, the goal to this thing eventually is not to have none of your money in it. As of today, Travis' money ain't involved in nothing that he does. What do I mean by that? All of my money, I kind of treat it like gold, right? How they used to say the American money was, right? Our money was backed by gold. Well, I back my business credit by my money. So instead of me taking my money and going to go buy cars or going to go buy products or going to go buy tech computers and phones and things of that nature, I put my money in places that it can make money. So my money, I got some in a high yield savings account so I can access it quickly. I got some of it in a life insurance policy. I got some in an IRA and Roth IRAs for later on in life because I don't need to touch it. I got a 401k policy. I got some real estate out there that my money is sitting in. I got cryptocurrency that my money is sitting in. And of course, the stocks. I'm doing my own individual trading inside of stocks outside of the Roths and all of that stuff. So my money is working is what I'm trying to tell you. Well, the places that it's working at, I can also touch it if I was to truly need it. Now, of course, I had to pay some taxes on this stuff, but if I needed my money, I can touch it. So I can easily go to a bank and say, well, hey, look, I need a $250,000 credit line or I need a $250,000 loan. Well, they're going to say, well, Travis, look, you got good credit. We'll give you a $250,000. You got to pay something called 7%. Somebody type interest in the chat. I need you to type the word interest in the chat. This is going to be a very important word to you moving forward in business. This may be one of the most crucial words that we really, really got to pay attention to. It's called interest. Now, here's the thing with this thing called interest. I go to the bank. They tell me, Mr. Davis, you can get a $250,000 at 7% interest. What did I tell you guys that your money should be able to do for you with no problem? It should be able to make you 10% returns with absolutely no problem. So instead of me risking my money in business, I protected my personal money and put it in a vehicle that makes me 10%. In return, I borrowed money, not money I didn't have. I got the money. I borrowed the $250,000 because I got the $250,000. If shit hits the fan, I can go get the money because of this interest thing I got to pay attention to. That's what I mean, hit the fan. Now, I go get a $250,000 that cost me 7%. Well, if my money's making 10% and it costs me 7%, that means my money's going to get me 3% profit, and I can take the rest of the 10% because I'm only taking out 3% from myself. I can take the rest that, let's say 7, 8, 9, 10, that 7% and pay off the loan. You know what I'm saying? Now, the beauty about it, I got the $250,000. I'm backing it with my money in case things hit the fan, but I got the $250,000 because I was going to put it in another investment vehicle that was called my business that potentially could give me 30, 40, 50% returns. But I'm risking their money, not my money, knowing that my money can pay the bill on their money. Now, what ends up happening is I invested in the vehicle. The vehicle gives me my 30, 40% returns. I pay off the loan. I now got extra money in profit. I go dump it and put it to work. And then I go get a whole nother loan and do it all over again, while never, ever risking my own money. Now, where are some places that we can go get money? Right now, I don't want to say one word. It's two words that I'm looking for right here that everybody can go get money right now at this moment. The problem is that you keep listening to these fools on the internet to tell you to go get this money from them. I told you, don't go get this money if you don't know how to go make money. I started the beginning of this whole thing saying you need to learn how to sell something. Everybody can go get money right now at this moment through a credit card. That's all borrowing money to me. Now, they have the worst interest. That's why I told you this word interest. We got to pay attention. But the beauty about a credit card, if you pay the money back before the bill hits, you don't owe no interest. The other beauty about a credit card is a lot of them you'll get if it's your first time getting a credit card with them. They may tell you 0% interest. This is why we got to pay attention to this word interest. Interest will be the factor on you making a lot of money or not. Now, I'm going to get to something here at the end. This is all going to tie together. This is how I became a multimillionaire. If you guys pay attention to what I'm telling you to do, all of this stuff matters. The interest, the credit card, we never have to pay it if we're doing business. The other place, if you can't pay that credit card money back in 30 days, I told you, open up that bank account in your local bank with the SBA because they probably have an SBA loan available for you at a very, very low interest rate. Before the pandemic, you could get money at 1% and nobody took advantage of it, including me, because I wasn't educated at that time. I didn't know what I knew now. I didn't have enough money to even think about stuff operating. I was blowing money fast. I wasn't thinking about what I'm doing now, planning, right? You could go there and get a very low interest rate. There's hard money lending. And you guys, at the end of the day, you know somebody like me, if the deal is correct, I got the money for you too. It's called creative financing. It's plenty of people out here in this world with money. You may just not have no money. The people around you may just not have no money, but you need to open your mouth, pause, and you need to get out here in these streets. And it's plenty of people with money that's willing to invest with you if you got a plan. Without a plan, ain't nobody trying to invest in you. But we have to make sure we pay attention to the interest rates. Because again, it will be the key factor to your profit margins. What are my thoughts on peer-to-peer lending? Hey, I'm with it. Got a question right here. Also, Instagram, you guys are probably about to get cut off. Again, if you want to keep following the live feed here, you need to click the link in my bio and come over here to YouTube. But what are my thoughts about peer-to-peer lending? That's creative financing to me. I'm with it. Now, if you're the person doing the lending, I would tell you be very cautious. Most of your peers ain't going to give you your money back. Majority of your peers won't give you your money back. I'm not telling you something that listening to anybody. If you've been following me, I always post the people that robbed me. And they've been my peers. Nobody wants to give me my money back. So if you're not ready for that heartbreak, I would advise you not to invest with your peers. Let them figure out how to go get it through one of them other channels that I told you about. If you ain't ready to just lose the money, you have no business investing with your peers at all. It's life. Or you could take the risk and then come back and tell me the story. Hopefully you made it through, but the odds are that you won't. All right. Number 7. And last but not least, and I got a special to wrap this all up here at the end, not reinvesting your profits. Guys, when I say reinvesting these profits, I'm not talking about putting in investment vehicles, right? When I say reinvesting the profits, I'm talking about reinvesting in you, reinvesting in your business. Like, why didn't you go to that conference? Why didn't you go to that workshop? You've never, ever done $1 million in your life. You don't know anybody around you that you could pick up the phone. When I'm talking about around you, if you pick up your phone and you go to your text messages, I don't want you to scroll all the way through. I want to look at your first group of text messages right in your phone. If nobody in that text message is making $1 million, you're not making $1 million. So what you need to start doing is stop talking to them about becoming a millionaire, and you need to get your ass on that plane and you need to go to that conference. You need to go to that workshop that got millionaires sitting in it. So now you can have $1 million conversation with people that know exactly how to make $1 million. It's not an assumption. It's not a thought from everybody. It's people actually living that life. And now you could get them because you paid to get to that conference. You reinvested into yourself. Now, since you spent that type of money that millionaires spend, well, now you got their phone number. You should be texting them and talking to them. It's just that simple. But, you know, if your mind don't understand this, well, I can't argue with you. If you want to keep talking to your broke ass friends in your text message and you don't get what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not here to argue with you. Do what you want to do. But if you want to take yourself to the next level, you have to invest that money that you're getting. Let me tell you, when you invested in yourself, didn't I tell you investing it into the market will get you 10% returns that are comfortable? That's what you should be looking at, 10 to 18%. But when you invested in yourself, guys, do you understand? I purchased a company for $300, and that $300 purchase into that company made me a multimillionaire because I invested in me. There's no other investment vehicle on this earth outside of yourself that you can invest in that can literally give you 5,000% returns. That's how the brain operates. That's how the man upstairs made each and every one of us. He gave us the tool. It's called your brain. Your brain will enable you to become a millionaire in no time. But here's the kicker. You got to learn how to use it. You ain't learned how to use your $1 million operating system yet. You went to school that taught you how to use this operating system for $57.69 per hour. You got to unlock it. The only way that you're going to unlock it is to invest in yourself and get yourself around the people that have already done it. Because you can't unlock a brain around a bunch of people that got the same locked up brain. It just don't work like that. Once you start getting yourself around these other people, I'm telling you, you're going to explode. Now, the kicker to all of this, If you follow these rules, you should become a millionaire in no time. But we want to create multi-millionaires. Here is the glue to all of this right here. If you follow what I'm telling you to do, those expenses are going to line up and you're going to know your numbers. Well, when you become $1 million business, if you don't believe me, just pay attention to all the other Fortune 500 companies. You'll see them doing exactly what I'm about to say right now. If you follow me on Instagram, FYI, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll actually be showing you this stuff real live in action because that's what I'm trying to do right now at this moment. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll show you real live in action so you can have somebody that you can see doing it. But the key to all of this, once you become $1 million company, you're going to have this thing called expenses right there, right? Once you have your expenses, you're going to see a line item in your expense outside of taxes. You're going to see a line item in your expense. It's going to be called your highest expense. I don't know what that is for you yet. It could be your accountant that becomes your highest expense. It could be some products that you got to purchase that becomes your highest expense. You're still in profit. I say your highest expense, whatever it is. Maybe you got to buy 200,000 products and altogether you look, it's your highest expense. When you get this all together and you learn how to make $1 million while having that highest expense, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go buy it. You're going to go purchase the company that manufactures the product. You're going to go purchase the company that provides the service that creates your largest expense. The reason that you're purchasing the company is because you're reinvesting the money, and what you're doing is lowering your expenses. It may not look like you're lowering your expenses because you're going to have to buy this company for $200,000-$400,000 or something of that nature. Remember, we're going to use other people's money, this thing called credit. We're going to go get the loan for $200,000-$300,000 while we're backing it with our money so we can go buy the business that was our largest expense. The day that we buy it, it automatically starts making money because you get to lower your expense. So you're buying a business that should already be profitable, but we're going to guarantee that it becomes profitable because the day we get it, we lower our expense for this other business. Now, all of a sudden, we can start to talk to the world and let them know about this other business arm that we got over here. This other business arm that used to be my largest expense, but now it's my next number one moneymaker. That's how you become a multimillionaire. If you don't believe me, just pay attention to the Fortune 500. I ain't talking out the crate side of my brain. This is what I do every day. This is my life now. I move money, and hopefully you can too. If you guys got any questions for what I went over here today, make sure you put them down there in the chat. Also, don't forget, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, share this out with 3 other entrepreneurs, business owners that you know need to level themselves up and generate some more revenue. If you have not yet, guys, I want you to come over here to $2cents.com. That's $2cents.com. Look, when you get here to $2cents.com, I'm going to put the link in the chat. I want you to come right up here. I want you to click on community. Once you click on community, you'll be able to join our community. We got some amazing people in here. I seen something crazy right here. Yeah, I seen this the other day. Look at this. Hey, fam, we just expanded our maintenance contract in our first of 4 option years from 39 units to 63 units. In other words, reach out to your current connections. Shout outs to you, Christopher. Look, I love seeing people making money right here. Join the group, man. We got some amazing people doing amazing things. Once again, you can click the link that I'm about to put in the chat right here, or you could go to $2cents.com, click on community, and join us completely for free. Then the next thing, if you need to catch up with me or anything that I got going on, you can go to travisknows.com. Once again, travisknows.com. and got access to all of my programs. I will be opening up my consultation link again tonight. You can join the community as well right there. If you need access to money, Well, guys, I have a great relationship with a company called Ladder Financial Group. They're going to put you in the best situation, whether you need a credit card, you need loans, whatever it is, they're going to make sure they sit down, understand you and your business, and put you in the best situation. You can access that on travisknows.com. Make sure you put an S on N. You need your books. We are talking about financing. QuickBooks is the one that I use. You actually get a deal when you use this link right here. You're going to get 30% off of your QuickBooks for 6 months. Once again, that's on travisknows.com. If you don't need to talk to anybody about funding, hey, one of my favorite credit cards is the Amex card. You can actually get that right here. And if you want to start your own podcast or you want to know what equipment, I got it all right here on my Amazon. You can come right here to Amazon, get all the same equipment that I use. And last but not least, if you want to get educated on the books that I'm reading, you can come right here, and this will take you to my entire reading list that I have here. When you guys join the community, you guys will see some key players in the community as well. I seen one of them show up in here. Deshanti, let me find her. Shout out to her. She's been telling y'all to make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the chat. I guess I need to move this off my screen real quick. I like to give a shout outs to my admins. So Deshanti is one of the admins. You guys will see her hanging around here, so show her some love when you see her. My guy Courtney, you will see him live on Mondays on my YouTube channel. Give him some love too. And we got Simone. You will see her hanging around in the chats. Again, that's the admin team. So if you ever need anything from them, well, they're there to help support you. I appreciate the support from the admin team again. Let me see if I got any questions before I get out here. But like you said, pay it before. You won't have to pay any interest. Talking about that credit card. Absolutely. Look, guys, I don't know how many credit cards. Look, I usually pull this out. Let me see. Matter of fact, hold on. I think they in my drawer. Look, I want to show y'all a couple things. Where's my wallet at? All right, first I'm going to get my wallet. I'll be right back. All right. So look. All right. So check this out. All right, check this out. All right. This is my Costco card. You know what I'm saying? My Costco card, I believe I got like $20,000 on the Costco card. All right. So technically, I mean, I can swipe it wherever I want. It's a city card attached to Costco. This is my Hyatt card right here because, you know, I like staying at Hyatt. So, you know, I can swipe, get points, stay in the Hyatts for free. And, you know, they actually got a Hyatt club floor that you get drinks and all that stuff for free. That one has 15,000 on it, I believe. So what are we at? 35,000 already. This my platinum Amex card for my business. I don't even know what the limit is on here. I did swipe and pay my taxes on here for, well, quarterly taxes. I paid $85,000. I swiped it on this Amex card, so I know I can swipe for $85,000. But the reason I paid my taxes on there is because, like, I figured, why would I pay $85,000 in taxes with an ACH, right? And they just get my money. Instead, I could swipe it on the credit card. They still gonna get my money, but I got $85,000 worth of points. So now all of a sudden it lowers my expenses of traveling and luxury and living my life. But look, I ain't stopped there. I got this gold card with Amex, and I mean, I don't know the limit on this one either. I think the most I've swiped on there was 15,000, a little under 15, it's 14 something. I got my Chase card. Okay, this is another business that I got right here. This Chase card got 20,000 on it. I have my Apple card right here. You know, I love me some Apple. I buy all of my Apple products and stuff. It's tied into my phone and whatnot. But my Apple card got 11,000 on it. I have another Citi card right here. This Citi card is for another business. That one got 8,000 on it. But hold on, I ain't done. That was just what I keep in my wallet, so y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? I don't never carry no cash in my wallet. You'll never, ever see me with cash a day in my life. I really have no idea why people carry cash in their pocket. It's the craziest thing to me, because every time you spend the cash, you don't get anything out of it. You just lose your money. So instead, you spend all these other people's money, and they give you all these cool perks just for spending their money. And I love it. You know, it ain't nothing better than me spending somebody else's money. But hold on, I'm not done yet. Wait a minute. See, when I first got started in business, right, everybody was crying and they was talking about how black businesses don't get no money and whatnot. We can't get loans. And that could be true, but I didn't have time to cry. But instead, I realized like, oh, well, again, it's this thing called credit. So I got a one credit card. This is just the drawer. Anytime I see a credit card that got 0% APR, it come in the mail, I'm getting a credit card. So this was like $5,000 when I got started. Here was one with MTB Bank. All right. They had a credit card option. That one had 6,000 on it. This is actually cryptocurrency credit cards right here that I had early in the day with my, crypto on it. I forget how much that is. This is another Wells Fargo credit card that I ended up picking that had $3,500 on it. This PNC credit card that they gave me had $2,500 on it. Here's another Chase business credit card for another one of my businesses. This got $6,000 on it. Which one we got right here? That's my debit card. Here's another Visa credit card right here. This one had $8,000 on it. You notice I never take the strips off the top of the card. I just think people see the strips on the card and they may not pick it up or something. I don't know, just in my mind. I got another Chase business card. This one has $7,000 on it. And I know that those weren't over $10,000 because they're in that drawer over there. I burnt through those cards. Is what I'm trying to say. My other cards I keep in my wallet, their limit is just way higher. Here was another Visa card. This one had a couple $1,000s on it. Here's my Sandy Spring credit card that had a couple $1,000s on it. Here's my original Hyatt. This was my original Hyatt card when I first started with the whole Hyatt credit card. This one's probably burnt up. I don't think anything was on it now, but they only gave me a couple $1,000s. And here we go. This is another Visa credit card, had a couple $1,000s on it. And this was a Bank of America credit card, had a couple $1,000s on it. As you guys could see, when I didn't have no money, when, you know, me listening to all the broke people cry and say he didn't have no money, I went and invested in myself, and somebody told me this thing about credit cards and how to work it. And then all of a sudden I realized I got a whole lot of money. It's been sitting in front of my face the whole time. It's just the average person takes the credit cards and they spend the credit card money in things that can't make them money. Instead, I took the credit cards and I only spent the credit card money in something that I believed could generate me more money than what I spent. And before I knew it, I was able to create a whole nest egg of money, and I no longer technically need the credit cards. Instead, I got enough money that's being backed that every time I swipe that credit card, I'm technically swiping my own money because I don't use other people's money I ain't got. I'm never worried about not paying the bill. I already got the money. But in the beginning, again, you may not have no money yet. We don't cry about spilled milk. Instead, we just figure out how to get the money. Credit cards is the easy way to get that money. And again, once you start growing, you're going to go use those credit lines to go buy big businesses. $250,000. Imagine you buy a business for $250,000. It gives you 20% returns every year. And then 4 or 5 years from now, you sell that business that you did for $250,000 that gave you 20% profit year over year for 5 years, and then you turn around and sell it for $400,000 or $500,000. That's the type of stuff that business can do. That's why I'm telling you guys to invest in it. This is the type of real life coaching that small businesses need. Well, I appreciate that. I try to, educate my small businesses out here. Can you please do a show on that? What, the credit card? The credit card stuff? I have a whole credit card video somewhere on my YouTube. This ain't the first time I talked about the credit cards. If you go check out my YouTube channel, Go look on the live feed. I got tons and tons and tons of videos up there for you to get educated on. I'm telling you, my Mondays videos, dollars to cents. That's probably where you're going to find the credit card videos, because that's all I talk about on, not Mondays, on Tuesdays on my dollars to cents. I talk about mindset and business. So watch the Tuesdays dollars to cents episodes. If you want to learn about government contracting, those are on my Wednesdays. And if you want to learn about systems and tools, those are on my Thursdays. But I'll probably, talk about some of this stuff later on. It's time to go back and go through my old stuff right there. But outside of that, hopefully you guys picked up something that I put down today. Put a fire emoji down in the chat if you were able to take away any nugget from today. That's the only way that I understand that you learned anything. I don't know if I taught you anything today, but hopefully you did. Once again, drop that fire emoji down there in the chat if you were able to pick up any valuable information from today. If my cursing hurt your feelings, I do apologize. I know I am on LinkedIn and we're not supposed to be cursing over there. I don't know who made up that rule, but I do apologize. There is an unfollow button that you can hit if that does get your emotions all riled up. But I just live my life and I try to help as many people as I can. I don't know anybody personally to be hurting your feelings personally, so I don't know why you take it that way. But if that is you and that does happen, by all means, just unfollow. And we'll all be happy. Outside of that, that's all that I got for you guys. I love you all. I appreciate y'all for being here. Hey, man, I appreciate the 16 for being here and the ones that go ahead and, comment and show love. One day we going to get Invest Fest type numbers, get those type numbers. But I don't get flashy. I don't care enough to get flashy. Y'all not never going to see me do crazy things like that to get people's attention. The real ones will be here. I'm here to educate y'all. If y'all want to stay getting educated, the ones that are here, cool. Continue to share this out. There's going to be somebody that we pick up, just one person. If I can get one person every day to join, then I'm accomplishing my mission right here. And so far, it's been holding true because of the support of each and every one of y'all. So I thank you again. We will be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. We will be back here talking about government contracting. So bring your questions in. Don't forget, join the community, dollarstocents.com. It's completely for free. That's all that I got for you guys tonight. I hope that y'all have a blessed evening. Don't forget, guys, hey, when this shuts off, when the music shuts off, yes, when the music shuts off, this will shut off. I love you all. Have a blessed night.
It's just different.
Yeah. You already know what it is. Pure money, baby. I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Come and hang with the gang. Get some free game added to your mainframe. Gotta keep your mind sharp, we gotta maintain. And it's even better when the squad on the same thing. Steady swishing on the competition. We ain't tripping about the opposition. We on a mission and we got a vision. People in need, we believe we got it like I give a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't got it.